Let's continue our Working in Progress series, examining now in this demo app the dark mode feature. As you may have seen in other videos, this demo app allows you to change the color theme, allows you to change, of course, the very interface itself. We're using material design. We can switch it to Cupertino design. Let's change it back for a moment. Of course, this app allows you to change locale, language used. Today, we're simply going to examine one humble little feature, become very popular in recent years, dark mode. Setting the interface to dark mode. By the way, you're still free to change the color. Turn to dark mode. Gives you that color. But we're going to walk through this code now, see how this was implemented using my MVC framework, as well, of course, the Flutter framework itself. So let's put a breakpoint right there where the switch is clicked on and returning a value. In this case, it's going to return a value of true. It's going to assign it to the setter called isDarkMode. Because it's true, it's going to turn to theme controller method called setDarkMode and assign it in this fashion to the setter theme data for the global app instant variable. So before we do anything else, let's quickly introduce you to the theme controller. It's instantiated near the top of this particular state object. It's designed to be self-contained. It provides a number of setters and getters. When it's first instantiated, it assigns the instant variable isDarkMode the system preference. It takes advantage of the prefs package that utilizes the system preferences plugin. So this value can never be null. It's simply true or false. When you first start up your app, for example, it'll be set to false. In other words, when you first start up your app, it won't be in dark mode. Here is the getter to supply you, give you an indication whether you're in dark mode or not. Here is the setter to explicitly set the value. This setter, of course, tests to see if the value passed, the parameter value passed is null. If it is null, it ignores it. If not, it sets it to the instant variable. Further still, it assigns that value to system preferences. Thinking behind that, of course, is if you close your app in dark mode and bring it back up again, you'll find your app back in dark mode because it utilizes the system preferences plugin. Here is the setDarkMode method. It explicitly returns the dark theme. This implies that you have the option of changing any dark theme. Flutter framework itself provides you a means to define what your dark theme looks like. As it happens right here and now, I simply turn to the Flutter framework and ask for instantiate a certain constructor, a dark constructor. I instantiate a theme data instance using this constructor, and as it happens, all it does is simply set the brightness, the name parameter brightness, to dark. So it passes a theme data instant with this brightness setting set to dark, and that's it. Further still, I have yet another method called setIfDarkMode. Sets this value, in other words, calls this method only if it's already true. Otherwise, it returns null. It's not very smart. It doesn't return the current theme data, although you could override this and do that, but I found that let's just keep it simple. Let's keep it self-contained. It knows of the Flutter framework's ability to create a dark theme. Leave it at that. The demo app itself knows how to return to the previous theme. That'd be enough. Because, again, this is be consumed by the general public, you have to make sure it's not necessarily efficient, but consistent. This is set to true. It calls setDark. I know that the setDark function returns the dark method. I could have easily placed this, cut and paste that here, but then I would have to modify two different places if I changed anything in here. Simply call setDark again. Granted, the instant variable is true, and set true again, but that's of little consequence. The issue here, of course, is, as in recent years, state management has become pinnacle. It's critical to have consistent state, so you know full well when this is run, if this is in dark mode, this variable is set to true, which it is, and this dark theme is returned, which it is. So when it's in dark mode, you know that that instant variable is true. And when it's in dark mode, you know that these two methods will return the dark theme. So let's get on with this now and demonstrate this process in action. So let's go back. Okay, that's set. Got the breakpoint on. I'm going to go here now. Hit dark mode. It's going to set that to true. Because it's true, it's going to assign that to the app's theme data. And then it's going to refresh the interface. Let's walk through it. It's a setter. This setter tests the parameter value for a valid value. It is set to true. It is a Boolean, so we can assign it. Now we're saving it to preferences. Because that's true, the consuming class, in this case it's the settings class, knows to now call theme controller's setDark mode to explicitly set it to dark mode. Call that. Sets it to true. Because again, we have to be assured that that instant variable is true. And returns the dark mode. Now, again, it's a theme data with the brightness set to dark. And that's what results. Go here, we turn to the MVC framework now to refresh the interface. There's a quick peek. It makes sure that the Flutter framework is mounted. It calls the super refresh, which in turn calls the state object's set state method. As you know, that actually caused the set state object to call its build function. So that results in that switch being turned on. If I commented this out, which I can, quite frankly, let's do that right now, and just leave this one, the app refresh. This would not be set on, be set off. So let's try that. The whole thing would be in dark mode. So, I'm going to quickly demonstrate that to you. We're going to run this again. Piling. Starting this up again, of course, System Preferences was recorded the dark mode, so it should be in dark mode now. When it starts up. And it is. Perfect. Back here. Turn it off. Run it. Notice it's still on. That one little change that I made has affected that value. That's, of course, that's for a whole new series of videos. So let's do this. We go back. Set that off. Go save. Start it up again. All right, let's do this again. I've set that. It's now in dark mode. Set it to dark mode. Runs through it. Again, the MVC framework has the theme data setter. It ensures that a proper theme data is assigned. Going there, for example. Go into dark mode, return dark mode. And there, of course, there's a number of if statements that ensures that a proper theme data is provided. Again, that's for another video. There we are. So, back and forth. Set that. It's a quick little video. Of course, all this is available to you. It's open source. You have access to the links to the topic at hand. And we'll leave it at that for now.